Hey vlog, so this is my bedroom. I've been so busy traveling lately that this is like the first time I've had time to kind of sit down and record. So this is my little vlog setup right now because my desk is downstairs and it's too busy down there right now. And I just needed some quiet space so I could just sit down and record a vlog like this because I feel like I haven't recorded like long form talking vlogs. It's been more just kind of day in the life, the travel, the training, the pickleball. And for me, it's important to kind of sit down and recap everything that's gone on. It's just a matter of finding time lately because of how busy I've been. So anyways, this is gonna be a vlog kind of to answer some questions, go over everything that's been going on in my life the last like 4 months. I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of the travel and tournaments and training that I've been doing. So this hopefully kind of just will recap all of that. And then I also like to set new goals and use these as like journal entries in a way. So you guys can follow along, but then I can also go back to it down the line. So I've rewatched some of my vlogs when I started just to see kind of the transformation of how far I've come over the last year. And yeah, so anyways, here we go. I just showered, I just finished my morning practice for the day. I did an hour of singles and then an hour of doubles drilling, and then we went to the gym, created some content, came home, just had lunch, finished a meeting, quickly showered, and I finally found some time to sit down and record a bit of like a question vlog. I've definitely had a lot of questions lately regarding social media, different tournaments, being a professional athlete, what I do every day in regards to like a job, because people are like, how do you make money? How do you make a living? And I just kind of wanted to use this vlog to go through some of that and also kind of recap everything that's gone on over the last like 4 months of my hectic, amazing life. So thank you for following along my journey. And it means a lot, all the support that I get doing this. It's not easy. So having you guys support me and all my family and my friends and my boyfriend and Arlo, it definitely means a lot. So I would not be where I am today without all that. Speaking, Arlo's trying to get in. Let me get him. Arlo, you want to say hi to the vlog? So Arlo really likes his toys. So Arlo, as some of you might know, he's my dog and he's 4. Oh, I got him. I'm gonna put him down, but I'll give you a background story on Arlo. Come on, bud. So I got Arlo when I graduated college, so like 3.5, 4 years ago now, because he's 4. Or I guess I graduated 3 years ago. But he's been with me while I was in Philadelphia. He moved down to Florida with me, and he's been like my little support puppy, I guess, emotional support puppy. And it's really hard when I go to tournaments and I leave him. So in one of my last tournaments, we drove to Virginia Beach and we brought Arlo, which was really special. But then I had like 5 consecutive weeks over the summer with tournaments and travel and training, and I didn't know what to do with him. And so my parents were very, very nice, and I flew back with him to Canada, and I left him with my parents for 5 weeks. So they watched him, which was super helpful. But otherwise, there's amazing like doggy boarding and support down in Delray where I am. So if it's like a short weekend tournament, I will leave him there. But life as a pro pickleball player, it is a lot of fun, but it does come with a lot of stress and external factors. So just being a pro pickleball player in like regards to training. So there's coordinating like on-court training practices, where you're gonna play indoor, outdoor, and then just kind of the constant coordinating with other people, making sure it works with their schedule and your schedule, and trying to plan practices. So Grayson, who's my boyfriend, he's also a professional pickleball player. Luckily we have each other, so over the last couple of months, we've been able to just train with each other, which took out that whole aspect of trying to like plan which takes a lot of time and mental energy. And then we're also able to work out together, which is really nice. So we kind of have that internal support with the training and the workouts, which is huge. And that's just the training. Nonetheless, then you have all the travel for tournaments. So there's 2 tours, as some of you know. There's the APP and the PPA right now. And I've signed with the PPA, which was a great opportunity for me. And it's literally the best of the best players in the world. So I'm competing against the number 1, number 2 girls in singles. I actually had a very close match with Catherine Prento, who is ranked number 2 in the world. We went to 3 sets. I won the first game. I almost won the second. It was like 12-10. And then I lost the third game. But it was just kind of cool to be able to know that I'm like right there at that level and I can push these top girls. So that's pretty cool. So I signed with the PPA, but Grayson is still with the APP and PPA. So he actually plays all those events, which is more than what I play. And I play like 20, 25 tournaments a year. And so with each of these tournaments, there's a lot of travel and kind of coordinating your flights, the times, what days you get in, depending on if you have qualies, if you don't have qualies, and then figuring out Airbnbs or hotels or rental cars. And then also on top of that, figuring out what you're gonna eat every day. Because it's not like there's a lot of food at the venues, so you kind of have to prepare yourself and plan, making sure you have breakfast, because you could start as early as 8 a.m. some days and be there until like 8 p.m. And then you gotta make sure you have lunch and dinner and keep your body like fueled properly. So that in itself is a lot. And then there's everything kind of personally that goes on aside from that's one of my jobs. And then the other job I have is technically my social media. So that's been amazing the way that I've grown it over the last year, which has helped a lot with different like sponsorships, partnerships, brand deals, and just kind of creating that exposure for like myself and the brand that I've created for myself. And I really, really like to use my social media to kind of showcase and inspire other people to live an active and healthy lifestyle. I've heard a lot of people over the years kind of complain or say that they don't have enough time in the day. And so my biggest thing is I think you have as much time for what you want to make time for. So prioritizing certain things, whether that's a pickleball game or a workout or Pilates or yoga or bike ride or running. Obviously you can't do it all, I understand that, but there's 7 different days in the week, and I think you can coordinate and plan where your priorities are at, sort of. So I just want to keep showcasing like all the different things that I'm able to do as a professional athlete that help with my cross training, as well as all the travel and cool places I'm able to experience and share that as much with you guys. And aside from the social media and the pickleball, there's just life. Obviously, there's relationships that have to be built. There's my family that I have to make sure I always keep in touch with, because they're in Canada and I'm in the US, and that's been really hard for me because I have such a close relationship with my family. So I literally talk to my parents, my sister, my grandparents a couple times a day. Like whenever I'm driving, that's like my free time that I'll hop on a phone call or I'll call a friend just to catch up. And I'm also the type of person, I will randomly send text messages just to like see how somebody is or touch base with them if I haven't talked to them in a while, because I know how special it makes me feel when people do that. So I like to just make sure people know that I'm thinking about them and that I just like to kind of keep in touch. So over the last 6 months, I've moved from a house to a different house, one relationship to another relationship, and all that comes with so much like emotional stuff that you have to manage. So for about a month, I think I was in this weird mindset of adjustments and readjusting and finding myself in my new relationship and getting comfortable again in my routines, because everything had been so like, I don't know, not everything had just been so like mishmashed for a couple of months that I kind of felt lost, and I started not to love what I was doing as much anymore because I just felt that like I was lost. And over the last like 5 months, I've definitely felt a lot better with where I'm at and where I'm going, and just making sure that I constantly kind of touch in with like my goals and how I'm feeling and the progress that I'm making. Because obviously to do what I do every single day and not to see like quick improvements or quick results starts to toll on you a little. and you start to feel like, why are you even doing what you're doing? So I definitely have had a lot of those moments over the last while, but for me, what I keep going back to is reminding myself where I was last year, or reminding myself where I was 3 months ago and how far I've come, and all the different little milestones that I need to focus on, not necessarily the big results all the time. So making sure what works for me, like setting goals and making sure that you do that as well, I think is so important in everything you do in life. Having like different kind of like topics or subjects of where your goals are and where you're going. And then over the last, 3 weeks, again, it's just been so hectic. I had a bit of a family emergency at home. My grandpa got very ill, very sick, and so I had to fly home, and my P1 visa was still in like an approval process, and I couldn't get home, but it was an emergency, and so I was able to go see him and say goodbye, and that was really hard because now I'm gonna cry. It's fine. I've cried so much over the last week, but he was very, very special, and actually in one of my vlogs from January, he was the one that would drive me from Naples to Punta Gorda for this one tournament I was in. So it was a nice memory to be able to go back in my vlog and remember that time and see where I am now. But yeah, sometimes what you see on social media with everything I post isn't necessarily the whole story. So you just gotta make sure that you're very understanding and sympathetic of what other people are going through, because what you see is not always what it is. But I'm still excited. There's a lot of things right now that are going on in my life, different partnerships. I just partnered with MyFitnessPal. So over COVID, a couple years ago, I used them every single day to track my food, my recipes, my calorie intake, my outtake with workouts, and I love them. And so when they reached out to partner with me, that was a really, really cool moment. So if you go on my Instagram, you'll see my little partnership reel with them. And then there's a couple other really cool brands like Nordic Track. So they sent me a treadmill, and I just love it. I've never had like an at-home treadmill, so to be able to like walk and run at my own convenience, like not having to worry about the heat in Florida, the rain, has been amazing. I've partnered with some really cool like sushi and different like restaurants, which for me is such a hobby and passion of mine. So that's been a very cool experience. There's a couple other really, really cool ones, so definitely stay tuned on that. But again, your support has been amazing throughout this journey, and I really want to try and continue to provide like information or some sort of inspiration to you guys in what you do in your life, and how what I'm doing maybe can help you get to where you want to go. So creating all this content takes a lot of time, but for me, I really enjoy it. It makes me happy being able to share my experiences and what I'm doing in life and connect with others and what they're doing and learn from them. So I'm gonna try and share more about my pickleball experience on this channel, and kind of more about like the pro pickleball life, and all the travel, the tournaments, and what like drills and routines I get into. But then I also do want to talk about social media, because as fun as it looks, it puts a lot of pressure on me sometimes, like an expectation of consistent output and results. Sometimes it doesn't always align itself, and I start to get down on myself, that I'm not doing enough, or that I'm not accomplishing what I should be. Even though I'm putting in the work, I'm not getting the return. So yeah, everything takes time. So just stay patient with what you're doing. Believe in yourself, believe in your support team. Make sure you build up that support team, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be the ones that keep pushing you, even if you think you're at that like finish line. There's always more to it. So keep going, stay positive, and thank you for supporting me. Stay tuned for next week's vlog. I'm gonna be at Miami MLP and training, and just kind of doing more in the gym and on the court. So I'll try and get all that into the next vlog. But until then, see you next time.